You want to be happy. You want love, success, peace. But just when it starts to happen, you push it away. You cancel the meeting, ignore the call, start the fight, sabotage the very thing you said you wanted. And you tell yourself, it's just bad luck. It wasn't meant to be. I wasn't ready. But deep down, you feel it, a strange, quiet truth that maybe, just maybe, you are the one ruining your own life. Not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because your mind is trying to protect you. What if I told you self-sabotage isn't a failure? It's a defense mechanism, a secret survival code written in the shadows of your childhood. And until you decode it, you will keep destroying the very things you were born to receive. In this video, we go deep into the hidden psychology of self-sabotage, where it starts, why it controls you, and how to finally break free. Self-sabotage is not obvious. It doesn't come with warning signs. It hides inside your choices. It looks like procrastination. It sounds like excuses. It feels like fear dressed as logic. You say you want success, but when it knocks, you don't answer. You dream of love, but when it comes too close, you run. This isn't just being lazy. This isn't just being scared. It's deeper. Self-sabotage is when your actions betray your desires. You want to be seen, but you hide. You want to heal, but you reopen the wound. You want to grow, but you stay small. Why? Because part of you doesn't believe you deserve better. Or worse, you're terrified of what better might demand. You've learned to survive pain, but peace? That's unfamiliar. And the unknown is dangerous to a brain built for protection. Self-sabotage isn't your enemy. It's your mind doing its best to keep you safe, even if it means destroying your happiness. You don't sabotage yourself because you're weak. You sabotage yourself because your brain thinks it's saving your life. The human brain was built for one thing above all: survival, not happiness, not peace, just survival. When you were a child, your brain learned fast what is safe, what is dangerous, and what is familiar. It memorized pain. It recorded shame. It stored fear in every cell of your nervous system. Now, as an adult, those same defense patterns still run on autopilot. You want to speak up, your throat closes. You want to try, your mind screams, don't bother. You want to trust, your heart panics. This is not a personality flaw. It's programming. It's your subconscious mind doing exactly what it was trained to do. You were taught through repetition and emotion that failure is safer than rejection, that silence is safer than disappointment, that hiding is safer than being hurt again. And your brain, it listened. Now, every time you move toward growth, your subconscious says, this is different, and different is dangerous. So it pulls you back, not because it hates you, but because it thinks pain is home. You weren't born doubting yourself. You were taught to. Some lessons didn't come through words. They came through silence, through cold shoulders, through promises broken before you could even speak. If love came with conditions, you learned to perform. If safety was unpredictable, you learned to control. If emotions were punished, you learned to bury them. But here's the haunting part. Children don't blame parents. They blame themselves. So, when your mother was distant, you didn't think, she's overwhelmed. You thought, I'm not lovable. When your father yelled, you didn't say, he's hurting. You said, I must be bad. And those thoughts didn't go away. They became truths, deep, invisible scripts your brain would carry into every friendship, every job, every relationship. Failure started to feel familiar, safe, predictable. Success? That felt foreign, unstable, too risky to trust. So your brain chose failure, again and again, because failure, at least you understand it. You say you want change, but your life looks the same, year after year, choice after choice. You start new goals. You chase love. You get close to peace, and then something breaks. A fight, a failure, a sudden drop in motivation. You tell yourself it's just life, but if you look closely, you'll see a pattern. Your pain isn't random. It's recycled. You keep ending up in the same relationships, falling into the same habits, spiraling into the same guilt, every single time. And every time it happens, a deeper part of you whispers, see, this is who you really are. You don't deserve more. So you punish yourself. You overthink. You isolate. You break what's good before it can break you. This is the sabotage cycle. You create the pain you fear. You destroy the peace you crave. Because deep inside, you still believe pain is where you belong. Until you see the cycle, you can't break it. You'll keep calling it fate. But it's just programming. Wounds wearing the mask of choice. You don't just sabotage your life. You defend it. You build stories. You write scripts. Not because they're true, but because they make the pain make sense. You say, I'm not ready. I don't want it that badly. It's not the right time. But the truth is buried beneath those lies. I'm scared. I don't think I'm enough. I don't believe I deserve this. These lies are not weakness. They rearmor. They protect the wound. Because if you admitted the truth, that you're terrified of failing, terrified of being abandoned, or worse, terrified of finally getting what you want, you'd have to face everything you've been running from. And the mind doesn't want that. It wants control. It wants safety. So it builds stories that keep you stuck. You convince yourself you're free while living in a prison of excuses. But deep inside, you know, you feel it. There's a version of you screaming behind those bars, asking, why do I keep doing this to myself? There's a moment. It doesn't come loud. It doesn't come with fireworks. It comes in silence. When you finally see the pattern, you look around at your choices, your habits, your pain, and you realize it was you. You've been holding the knife, bleeding, blaming the world for the wound. This is the shattering, not of ego, but of illusion. You realize the enemy wasn't outside. It wasn't your past. It wasn't your parents. It wasn't luck or timing or fate. It was your own mind, your own fear, your own belief that you didn't deserve better. And in that realization, there's pain, but also power. Because now you can choose, not automatically, not reactively, but consciously. You stop asking, why does this always happen to me? And start asking, why do I keep choosing it? This is the mirror shattering, and the reflection that's left is who you really are, not the wounded child, not the fearful mind, but the one who's ready to wake up. The good news? What was programmed can be reprogrammed. You are not a prisoner. You're an author. And your brain? It's not the enemy. It's a powerful tool, waiting for new instructions. But it starts with awareness. You can't change what you won't confront. You must name the beliefs that rule you. Start simple. What do you believe about love? About success? About yourself? If the answer sounds like, I'm not good enough, I'll always be alone, I always mess things up, that's not truth. That's training. And now you get to retrain it. Use repetition. Speak new beliefs, not once, but daily. Not just in your mind, but out loud. Visualize who you want to be, not what you want to have, but how you want to feel. Give that version of you a voice, a name, a place at the table. Meditate, journal, get quiet enough to hear the old stories, then rewrite them. And most of all, practice. Because healing isn't a lightning bolt. It's a new path walked daily, until one day, the road that once led pain leads to peace. You were born a creator, but life trained you to survive. Now it's time to unlearn survival and step into something deeper. Creation. Not from fear, not from scarcity, but from conscious choice. You get to choose. What kind of peace do you want? What kind of love will you allow? What kind of story do you want to write from this moment on? You don't have to be ruled by patterns. You don't have to carry pain like a passport. You are not your trauma. You are not your mistakes. You are the one who survived them and the one who can transform them. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. So today, speak differently, act differently, choose differently. Start small, a boundary, a breath, a belief, and repeat it until it becomes your truth. Because the mind that once trapped you can also free you. Not overnight, not perfectly, but fully if you keep walking. You are not broken. You are becoming. And this time, you are the one holding the pen.